Men who proposed and got told no? What happened afterwards? I thought Jeremy was going to be my forever person. We'd been together almost 4 years, living in this tiny apartment downtown, splitting everything 50-50. He was the guy who remembered I liked extra pickles on my sandwich and always made sure my coffee was ready before I woke up. Everyone told me he was perfect husband material, but there was this one thing that always bothered me. Clara never wanted to meet my parents. Every holiday, every family barbecue, every birthday party, she had some excuse. Work was crazy. She felt sick. Her car was making weird noises. After 4 years, my mom had never even seen a photo of her. I figured she was just shy or maybe had some family issues of her own. She never talked about her parents either, which I thought was weird but didn't push. When I asked about her childhood, she'd change the subject or give these really vague answers about growing up down south somewhere. Last spring, I decided to plan something special. Clara had mentioned once that Charleston was her favorite city, how she loved the harbor and the old buildings. So I booked us a long weekend there, found this perfect little Airbnb near the water. I even reached out to her parents via email. I'd found their address through some online searching. I wanted to ask her dad's permission the old-fashioned way. The guy never responded to my email, which was strange, but I figured maybe he was just old school and didn't check email much. The trip was beautiful. We walked around the historic district, ate at amazing restaurants, took a million photos by the water. On Saturday evening, I suggested we watch the sunset from this quiet beach spot. Clara was laughing at something on her phone when I got down on one knee. The moment she saw the ring box, her whole face changed. She didn't cry or gasp or do any of the things you see in movies. She just froze completely like someone had hit a pause button. "Jeremy," she whispered, "we need to talk." Those 4 words destroyed everything I thought I knew about my life. She said no, not "let me think about it" or "this is too fast." Just no. Back at the Airbnb, she sat on the edge of the bed and told me the truth. Her name wasn't Clara Mitchell. She'd legally changed it 8 years ago after faking her own death. Her real family believed she had drowned during a boating accident on Lake Norman. They held a funeral. There was a headstone with her real name on it. I thought she was having some kind of breakdown. I actually laughed because it sounded so insane. But then she showed me the newspaper clipping on her phone, a story about a missing 20-year-old woman whose body was never found. The photo looked exactly like Clara, just younger. She told me she'd run away to escape her uncle, who had been abusing her since she was 12. Her parents knew but never stopped it because he was rich and helped pay their bills. The night she died, she'd actually driven 6 states away, sold her car for cash, and started over with fake documents she'd bought online. She said she loved me more than anything, but she could never legally marry anyone. It would expose her new identity. Her uncle was still alive, still powerful, still dangerous. If he found out she was alive, she was convinced he'd track her down. I sat there listening to this woman I thought I knew completely tell me her entire life was a lie. Every holiday she'd missed with my family, every time she'd been weird about taking photos together, every cash payment for rent instead of writing checks, it all made horrible sense. I wasn't angry. I was heartbroken. For her, for us, for the family we'd never have. She was crying, begging me to understand why she couldn't tell me sooner. She said she'd been planning to disappear before I proposed, just vanish one day so I could move on. We tried to make it work for 3 more months, but everything felt different. When she paid for groceries with cash, I wondered if the money was real. When she got nervous around police cars, I remembered she was technically a fugitive. We broke up on a Tuesday in October. She moved out that weekend. I helped her pack, which felt surreal, watching someone erase their entire existence from your life in cardboard boxes. She hugged me goodbye and said she'd never forget that someone loved her enough to want to marry her, even if she couldn't say yes. I never proposed to anyone again.